Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. Welcome back to Marriage Mondays. My name is Alison, certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with busy professional women to move them from discouraged, overwhelmed with dating to healthily and happily married. Every Monday, I do my Marriage Monday segment where I go live and I discuss an issue that impacts women's ability to get into that healthy and happy marriage. Sometimes it's about dating leading to the relationship leading to the marriage. But either way it goes, it is time for you to do something different to get into the healthy, happy marriage that you require. So today's conversation is in regards to being negative Nancy's. Negative Nancy. So if you're not familiar with that title, that description, it talks about when someone usually views things in a negative light automatically. Nothing significant would lead them to draw that conclusion. Perhaps it's coming from a place of hurt or trauma, because perhaps it's coming from the way that they were raised, but they assume that things are not going to work out in their favor. They assume that things are going to go wrong most of the time just because, not with any evidence, not with any substantial evidence, but just because. So that looks like something along the lines of when we're talking about romance and marriage. They all cheat. So why should I bother? This marriage is never going to work. How could he love me? No one has ever loved me. They always do this. They never do that, right? You're catastrophizing. You're making things worse than what they are based on very limited information and very limited evidence and very limited data. And so when you approach things in a negative manner, then many times that is exactly what you're going to receive. Let me give you an example. So for my clients, again, my busy professional women who are overwhelmed with dating, who need the support, when they join me in a masterclass or they join me in my Partner You Deserve 6-month coaching program, they'll start out with negative things like this. I don't even think this is going to work. This is my last ditch effort. I don't even know if it's worth trying. There ain't no good guys out there anyway, blah, 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 blah. And I begin to work with them to shift their mindset, because exactly what you believe to be true will become your truth. And what you believe, good or bad. And if you believe something to be good, then great, because you're going to make it good. And if you believe something to be automatically negative and bad, then that's the truth for you too, because that's what you'll make it. When you say that there are no good men out there are a couple of things that are going to happen. Number one, you won't put yourself out there, period, which means that you're going to be creating your own truth by saying there's no good ones out there, so I'm going to be alone. And you're right, you are going to be alone, but not because there aren't any actual good ones out there, but because in actuality, you've kept yourself away out of fear because you've had 2, 3, 4, even 5 bad experiences, which I understand. But we have to look at this on a grand scale. How many people do you know who are happy in their relationship? How many people do you know? Let's take a step back. How many people do you know who's happy in dating, having a good old time, meeting new people, having new experiences? How many people do you know who are happy in their committed relationship? How many engaged couples do you know who are happy? How many married couples do you know that who are happy? Let me tell you this, the answer only needs to be one. I don't need a slew of people. I don't need 10, 20, 30, 50 couples, 100 couples. I need one. Because if it can happen for them, that means it can happen for you. But as long as you roam around this earth talking about always and never, I'm never going to find a good man. I'm never going to find a man who's equally yoked. They always cheat. They always lie. Then that is exactly the experience that you are curating for your life. If I say I cannot lose weight, I can't lose the weight. Too busy. Whatever it is, can't lose the weight. What's going to happen? I'm never going to diet and I'm never going to exercise because I don't believe I can lose the weight. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, yeah, I never lost the weight because I never did anything to make it happen. You have to make your life happen for you. You have to change your language that it can then change your circumstances. What does changing your language look like in a practical sense? So if you are dating, number one, you need to be in the Dating 101 Masterclass. That's on Tuesday. It's going to be in the description, in the comments, and all that kind of good stuff. That's what you need to be tomorrow. So if you are dating, changing your language and making it positive sounds something like this. If you are on a dating app, hey, Blondie, I hope you're in the masterclass tomorrow. If you are on a dating app, you should not be writing things like, don't swipe right if you're not trying to. If you a F-boy, don't bother, because you know why? Because the F-boys love it. They're like Candyman, 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 Candyman. You say them 3 times in front of a cell phone and they're going to come and find you. Or the nice guy, the guy who is in alignment with you, the guy who is equally yoked says, I don't want this girl. Look at this lady, Alison. She's super negative. Why would I want to be around that? She's jaded. She's hurt. I'm not trying to pay for the sins of what somebody else did to her 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago. Absolutely not. I'm going to keep scrolling because I wouldn't want to talk to somebody who's a negative Nathan. All these women want to use me. Why can't women pay for the dates? Who the hell wants to be around that? So you have to imagine that the reverse, the vice versa, exists as well, right? Being on dates, talking about your ex in a negative light. First of all, don't talk about your ex unless it's asked of you. If you are dating, do not mention it unless it's asked. And if it's asked, why are you single? Why things didn't work out? Answer, relatively speaking, you need to leave that as less than 3 minutes, because it seems like if you continue to talk and talk and talk, you're dwelling and you haven't moved on and you're not healed. And again, no one wants to pay for the sins of the father. And in your case, the sins of the ex-husband. Nobody wants to pay for that. So they're going to keep it moving. So if there's anybody who has a hard time transitioning from a dating app to the phone, it could be your profile. I will teach you how to fix it on the Dating 101 Masterclass. The links are everywhere in the description, in the everything, right? It could be, if you can't get from the phone to a date, that you are, again, becoming across more negative than you imagine you are, especially if you can't pinpoint. If you can't say, I rejected him, if you can't say, why won't he ask me on a date? If you can't answer, why is it he ghosted me? It's probably because you're coming across as negative and angry and jaded. If you can't get from date number 1 to date number 2, it may be you. So I need you to show up for the Dating 101 Masterclass so we can do that work. If you are in a committed relationship and you are constantly chastising your partner, if you are married and you never wash the dishes, he never washes the dishes, never. That's a fact. You've been together for 7.5 years and he has never, not once, words matter, he has never, not once washed the dishes. You never hugged me. Never. Your wedding day, you didn't get a hug. Your birthday, you didn't get a hug. Words matter. Instead of you never, and you're pointing the finger, it needs to be, babe, I really need your support in this. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling as though I'm taking the brunt. That's realistic. The brunt of the work, the brunt of the responsibility, and I'm not showing up as my best self as a result. I'm not able to get into the gym. I'm not able to take care of blah, blah, blah. I want to spend more quality time with you. I want to do a little extra something with you. And I can't do that if I'm drained by doing all of these things. What can you take off of my plate so that there's more balance in this house? Boom. Boom. You never wash the dishes. You never help me with the kids. Well, guess what? Since I never do it, I'm going to keep never doing it. That's not an outrageous next step when someone is being accusatory, right? And so for this Marriage Monday, I need you guys to put on your positive vibes. It doesn't have to be positive vibes only, but I need you to put on those positive vibes as you are treacherously getting through these waters of the single season, as you are getting through your committed relationship that you want to get to marriage, as you are pushing through and enjoying life with your husband in your marriage, wherever you are romantically. I need you to put a positive spin on the way that you approach things, because that's going to get you a better result. I know everybody's grandma told them you get better, what is the expression? You get more bees with honey, or flies. You get more flies with honey. Right? The vinegar ain't working. We have to change what we're doing to get a different result. So again, for all my single folks, I'm going to make sure that you get the links, you get all the information for the Dating 101 Masterclass. This is going to be an extremely intimate cohort. I structured it that way. I only have 5 slots left. Literally 15 minutes ago, I had 7. Only have 5 slots left. I wanted to make sure that tomorrow's masterclass was small because I wanted to work with you intimately. I know what's happening the next day. Today's the 12th. If you're watching this after the 12th of February, tomorrow's the 13th, the day of the masterclass. I know what's happening on the 14th. I know what images you're going to be overwhelmed with. I know you're going to see the engagements. I know you're going to see the red and the pink and the 100, 200, 500 roses that people be having to have on their back in order to walk with it. I know that you're going to see the announcements. I know what you're going to see. And I want you to be able to go into Valentine's Day and say, That's cute. I'm gonna have that too because Alison taught me the skills and the strategy that I need because I have not been using a strategy for my whole romantic life. I'm 35. I never use a strategy. I'm 28. I never use a strategy. I'm 57. I never use a strategy. I now have learned a strategy in the Dating 101 Masterclass that is easy for me to apply because Alison taught me the skills. I'm going to apply it so that's cute because I'm gonna have the same thing. I'm not even gonna say you can have the same thing by Valentine's Day. You can have the same thing by Christmas. It's time for you to have your matching PJs. It's time for you to have your engagement announcement. It's time for you to be planning where your wedding is going to be. But you have to take action. And if you think doing the same thing over and over again is going to get you a different result, that is the definition of you already know. So, beautiful people, I'm going to leave you on this note. Do something different to get a different result. And that concludes our Marriage Mondays. I'll be going live on Instagram tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. I have an amazing story. You get more flies with yeah. You are trying to kill my point, but it's all good. I love you. I have an amazing story on Instagram, that I'm going to be doing a live for at 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you there.